Hello and welcome to Race Streamer, and welcome to another video in which I'm going to be talking. This is the first of 8 videos I'm going to be doing on the subject of becoming a better driver, with this video focusing on taking part in track days in your own car. Now for me, taking part in track days was one of the ways I feel like I've improved my driving the most, mostly because I've got loads of seat time and in pretty little traffic around some really great circuits in the country. So for those of you who haven't taken part in track days before, open pit lane track days are the ones that I would suggest going for, because those are the ones where you can go out on track pretty much whenever you please between the times of about 9 to 1 and then after lunch break from 2 till 5. And there's very little traffic out on circuit most of the time, because even if it's a busy track day in terms of the numbers of entrants to the track day, most people aren't on circuit all that much. They might go out and do a few laps, come back in, tweak their tyre pressures or other settings, and then head out a lot later. So that means the circuits are pretty empty on the whole. In terms of the cost for track days, if you want to take part in a half-day session, which is typically about 3 hours long, they start at less than £100 depending on what circuits you go to and what time of year it's taking part in. Track days are always cheaper in the winter, that's for sure. If you've not done a track day before and you're not sure what circuit to go for, definitely go for a short circuit, because if there's less corners to learn, then you spend less time trying to learn the actual circuit and more time actually working on your driving technique. And also the fact that if you're not sure if your car is really track ready or not, then at least if you go for a short circuit, the pit lane is always pretty close by. So if you're not sure if your car's okay, like you might pick up some excess rubber that's been laid down by a car on track, then you can just drive back to the pit lane, which is pretty close by, do some quick checks and hopefully be able to sort it out without having any dramas like having to stop out on circuits or anything. Now in terms of if your car is actually track ready or not, that's not something necessarily to worry about if you're just looking to get out on circuit for a little bit of experience to begin with. For instance, if you go for a 20-minute taster session that MSVT offer at circuits like Brands Hatch, Alton Parks, Neston, or any other circuit that's part of the MSV group, I think it'd be safe to say that if you drove considerately, so not stamping on the brakes at maximum capacity every single corner, your car will probably last okay for a 20-minute session. So that's a good way to get into track days without modifying your car. Otherwise, if you wanted to go for a full day, and I actually did this to start with in my car, I didn't make any modifications to my car before I went to my first track day. I went on a full day at Brands Hatch Indy, and I just did loads of short runs of maybe 5 or 6 laps at a time, and then I came in to let the car cool off for about 10 minutes, and that worked really well for the whole day. I didn't have any problems with my car, so that seems a pretty sustainable way of going about it. Also, the fact that I was taking about 10 minutes off between each session gave me time to sort of digest how my driving had just gone and think about any little ways that I could potentially improve it. On the subject of improving your driving session upon session that you take out on track, definitely an excellent way is to get tuition, which involves potentially a racing driver sitting next to you in the passenger seat of your car while you drive around the circuit. And this is with the focus of not just getting you to set quicker lap times eventually, but being able to set quicker lap times showing more control in your car. So that's how to kind of get into track days, and then when you start becoming more serious about track days, you might need to make some modifications to your car in order to be able to go out for some longer stints. So for me, I needed to change some parts of the brakes on my car and also the tyres, and that's something I'm going to talk about in a later video in terms of how I get my car ready for the track. But there will be some basic modifications that you need to make to be able to safely run your car being heavy on the brakes and hard on the tyres for maybe 20 to 30 minute sessions in one go. Otherwise, you'll probably run the risk of losing all of your brakes or just melting your tyres and not really having a good day as a result. So about 9 months after I got my car, and only on my 3rd track day, I chose to go to the Nürburgring Nordschleife, and it was a great day, I have to say. It was one of the best days of my life. It was so much fun driving around there. But actually, in terms of a learning experience, it was just too much to handle, and it goes back to that point of short circuits being best for beginners. So when I got to the end of the day, I was totally knackered because I think I'd driven about 19 laps around the Nürburgring, which I think equates to just over 2.5, maybe 3 hours of driving. And I watched back my video that I took of my last lap, and there's so many corners that I drove through, A, that I could have been a lot quicker on, but B, I was actually a little bit faster than I planned to go, and it was a little bit on edge at points. So it goes to show that actually, if you're an inexperienced driver, going to the Nordschleife is actually a really good idea for fun, but actually not the greatest idea for safety unless you are really confident in your driving ability. But that's kind of not what this video is about. So if you are happy with your driving ability, I don't know why you've watched this far, to be honest. But what I did do while I was at the Nürburgring is I got tuition for an hour, and that really helps me. Not just in terms of being quicker, but for the main thing for me was just assuring me of, am I safely getting around this corner at this speed, or is there a more consistent way of taking this crest in the circuit? Because there's all these little things about the Nordschleife that make it such a challenging circuit. Trouble is, it's like 12 miles long, so all of these little things add up to a massive amount to try and remember to safely but quickly get your way around the circuit. And the final great thing about doing track days is you get to meet like-minded car enthusiasts, and sometimes you can exchange passenger rides if they're happy for you to jump in with them, or you can offer them rides in your car. And it's a great way to kind of get to know people that are into cars and they're potentially into motorsport as well. And for me, I was quite lucky because I've got a friend who owns a Westville kit car, and we went to a few track days in my car for a while, and eventually he decided he was going to take his Westville to the track and allowed me to have a bit of a drive around in it. And I was definitely slower in his car than I was in my car, but that's frankly because I just wanted to make sure that he was comfortable as a passenger. So that's all for this video, and have a look out for part 2, where I'm going to be talking about the driving experiences in terms of commercial driving experiences that I've purchased over the years, and I'm going to be reviewing them, detailing which ones give you the most track time and frankly the best value for money in terms of enjoyment as well.